following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Holiday Bowl preview show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Makes the grab. A Superman catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington State.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Welcome in. It is the U.S. Bank Bowl Preview Show. We're coming to you live here from San Diego at the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego. We got a great Cougar event here tonight. We've got the Holiday Bowl tomorrow. The Cougs taking on Syracuse. How's everyone doing? It is I'd say to us a nice night in San Diego. Maybe to the locals a little chillier for them. But we're ready for some football tomorrow night as we're joined with Jessamine McIntyre here.
Well, yeah, I was saying that when we were walking over here that this is the perfect weather for football. Whenever we have a day like this, and I'm on the sidelines, so weather is kind of my jam. I need to be prepared when we're down there and know what the players are going to be dealing with and the conditions they're facing in this game. But this Holiday Bowl, this is my third one working, always has perfect football weather. December in San Diego, you can't get better than that. It feels like fall anywhere else.
Well said. And normally we would have our partner in crime, Alex Brink, here, but he has had some unfortunate travel thrown his way, so a little curveball his direction. So if you see someone running in, putting on a headset at the end of the show, that would be Alex. We'll
He's
see
allowed.
if...
Don't go to Texas in December, I'll just tell you that much.
Yeah, a little bit of tough travel for him. So we're excited to get you all set for tomorrow night's bowl game. 5 o'clock kickoff. We'll have all the coverage here on the radio network. We'll begin at 3 o'clock. Derek Dice and Billy Newman will get you all set for the game, and we will take over from Snapdragon Stadium at 4:30. And with this great Cougar event we have here tonight, we're going to have a couple of very special guests. Pac-12 Commissioner Teresa Gould will stop by and join us. So much to talk about with her, and Cougar legend Robbie Tobeck is here, and he will join us. So, boy, Jess, it's been almost a month since the team has been in action, and here we are for the Holiday Bowl. It is a great experience. I know you have gone through this before, but the Holiday Bowl puts on such a great event that goes beyond just the game.
It really does. We were watching the local news in the room, before we came over here, and just this whole city puts on a show. And I've been to several bowl games. I think this will be my 6th or 7th, and because that's how many times the Cougs go bowling all the time. And the way that each city shows this as their big event. San Diego, and no offense to anyone else, San Antonio or El Paso or anything like that, San Diego makes it a whole show. And there's a lot going on here. So for them to celebrate it and welcome us in, walking around the city today, seeing all the Cougar gear around. Cougs showed up for this one. I know we have such a great traveling fan base, and it really does just bring home to here. And San Diego, thank you very much. It's just such a wonderful event.
Well said, and I think back to the time back earlier this season when the Cougs were here in San Diego, got the victory over San Diego State, so already some good memories at Snapdragon Stadium. The team looking to add on to that coming up with the matchup tomorrow night. But what it was like, and you were down on the field, it felt like a Coug takeover, and it'll be a little easier this time because with the Cougs taking on San Diego State, you look through the crowd, the Crimson and San Diego State's colors were maybe a little bit close. We knew there were a lot of Coug fans. We could hear them afterwards. Now with Syracuse being the opponent, it'll be definitely easy to tell the Crimson and the Orange, and can't wait to hear the Coug fans loud again at Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah, and that's a great venue, by the way. I don't know if anyone here has been there before, but Snapdragon Stadium is just such a perfect, you can't get a bad seat in the house, and they have a great concourse where you can watch from there. They've got, plenty of concessions around, and I just noticed from my field position looking up how beautiful it was, and I really hope that we pack the house tomorrow. I loved hearing that. I was like, if you were standing outside the stadium, you wouldn't be able to tell who was winning when we were playing San Diego State because that's how loud the Cougar fans were.
And that fight song, boy, it was echoing throughout the stadium.
Yes, it was.
After the Cougs got the victory in that game. So let's talk a little Holiday Bowl history for the Cougs. Washington State making their 5th appearance in the Holiday Bowl. It's the most among the program's 19 bowl appearances. The Cougs started out in 1981, falling in a close one to BYU. A great great game, a great night for Cougar football, beating 5th-ranked Texas 28-20 back in 2003, fell to Minnesota in 2016, then the Michigan State game in 2017. So the Cougs 8-10 all-time in bowl games. The last win coming in 2018, that Alamo victory over Iowa State. So looking to add another in the history of bowls for the program.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that can be said of how important this game is, especially considering the outgoing seniors, those who are looking ahead to next year, the month that the coaches who are with the team right now get in preparation for the season to come. That's an extra month of practice, and I don't think a lot of people look at how important that is to the coaches and the team moving forward, and there are a lot of guys moving forward. I know we live in this crazy NIL world. There's a transfer portal and, what have you. There are a lot of dedicated Cougars who are staying within this program who need that extra, or who can benefit, I should say. They might not need it. They benefit from that extra month being together, and I think the outgoing seniors, I just look around and love the fact that they get this time together as well.
You heard the phrase used around the program. They call it winter camp because it's such an opportunity to get that extra practice and to get out here to play. And, we'll talk about it more, but the quarterback position, a guy in Zevi Eckhouse. We saw a little bit of the Portland State game, but he gets the opportunity here, and there'll be a number of guys who will get the chance to play and to show what they can do in this matchup against Syracuse. And a little bit on the matchup, and we'll dive into the opponent more coming up, but Syracuse is a very formidable foe. The Cougs, of course, 8-4 wrapping up the regular season. For Syracuse, they're ranked in the top 25. The most recent college football playoff poll had them ranked number 21, 9-3 on the season. They went 5-3 in the ACC, and their most recent game, quite notable, it was a win over Miami, 42-38. That was back on November 30th. So the Cougs taking on a Syracuse squad that also is fresh off of a really impressive season.
Yes, and their quarterback's quite a formidable opponent. I mean, when you're backing up C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, and then, you go to Syracuse, that's someone who has a lot of great experience, has learned under a great coaching staff, and that is someone who can do some things here. I know that we did lose a few on defense. We did, but I love about these bowl games because it's not just the transfer portal and NIL that we've seen in the past. Some guys would set out bowl games to protect their future career at the next level, and so it is an opportunity to see what has been waiting in the wings. There are some young guys that we got to see this year who were waiting in the wings last year. That could be said for John Mateer playing behind Cam Ward. So I can't wait to see Zevi Eckhouse take the field tomorrow because we don't really know what he has to offer. And I see him warm up. I know he's got an arm, and I'm excited to see what kind of game he plays.
Zevi Eckhouse, we'll talk about him a little more, but worth noting, his last start, he was at Bryant University before becoming a Coug. Closed out the 2023 season at a 394-yard performance, 6 touchdown passes in Bryant's win over Southeast Missouri State. So he will get a chance coming up in this game, and excited to see what he can do. Well, we will take a break, but we got a lot to get to here. It is our U.S. Bank Bowl Preview Show live from San Diego. When we return, we'll have Pac-12 Commissioner Teresa Gould stopping by. We'll also have Robbie Tobeck joining us, and we'll have more on the matchup tomorrow night. The Cougs clashing with Syracuse in the Holiday Bowl. More after this. You're listening to Cougar Football from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30 foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Coug fans, you love rooting for the Crimson and Gray, and now McDonald's has even more for you to cheer about. Because this season, you can score big with the 20-piece McNuggets bundle when you order on the McD app. Get 20 golden, juicy McNuggets, plus 2 orders of the medium fries you know and love, all for just $11.99. McDonald's and Cougars football. Now that's what I call a W. Must opt into rewards at participating McDonald's, valid through 2024-25 football season. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We are back live at the rooftop at the Ondas San Diego. It's the U.S. Bank Bowl preview show talking about tomorrow night's Holiday Bowl. Washington State getting ready to clash with Syracuse. Here with Jessamine McIntyre, Chris King joining you, and so excited to have the commissioner of the Pac-12, Teresa Gould, join us. How are you doing? It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to be here. It just gives me so much energy, and it's so invigorating to be here with the Cougs, and what an incredibly supportive room of people. So it's awesome to be here. Happy holidays to everybody.
And we are on the rooftop. It is excellent weather. We've got a rooftop full of Cougs. You can feel the Coug pride here. And for you, there's a long history with the conference and the Holiday Bowl. The Cougs have had the great fortune of playing in this game a number of times over the years. I know you're no stranger to being here for this, right?
Well, I was telling somebody earlier, I've been in this league in different positions, both on a campus and in the conference office for almost 25 years, and I have a long history with this bowl game. I feel like I raised my kids at this bowl game. I literally have pictures of my kids with Santa Claus in that very hotel that we're staying at. So I love the Holiday Bowl. They're a great partner. They really care deeply about providing the student athletes, of course, and the fans with a tremendous experience. And what better place to be during the holidays than beautiful San Diego?
I was just talking about the weather. This is a literal football weather that we would wish for in the Pacific Northwest, but we usually get that around September. Anyway, Teresa Gould joining us, a Pac-12 commissioner. Just looking back at this season, there was a lot leading up to it. It was a different season than we've seen in the conference before. How would you say it went overall?
I think it went extraordinarily well. I mean, obviously, Washington State, look at the record, the run, like the incredible success that this program has had this year was the talk of the country, right? And I have the opportunity to go in front of the CFP selection committee every other week and talk about the Pac-12 programs. And I will tell you, our representatives on that committee were just so impressed with the program and the season and how hard these young men played. And I think everybody should just be really, really proud of the season that Washington State has had, and just know that on the national scene, this program is very much on the map and people are watching.
Very well said, and I know you have a lot on your plate. So what's the latest you can tell us about, I know, working towards the media deal, and then also kind of solidifying the final bit of conference membership?
Yeah, well, I always say, I kind of have 4 different work streams that I'm juggling at any given time. And I will talk about media rights and I'll talk about membership, but I also just want to remind everybody that this year and next year, we have sports going on in the Pac-12. We had football, we have wrestling, we have track and field, we've got sports going on, and we have student athletes to support. So my team continues to work hard to make sure that the WSU student athletes and OSU student athletes are getting the support from the Pac-12 that they deserve. And then obviously you mentioned media rights and membership, and I've probably been out in the marketplace trying to get a TV deal done. I'm saying 7-8 weeks, something like that. I've been making lots of cross-country trips to New York to meet with all of the TV executives, and it's going really, really well. And I will tell you, when I said yes to this opportunity, it was in part because I knew the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 brand meant something. And that has absolutely been reinforced by every television company that I've talked to. Like, the Pac-12 brand means something in our industry, in this country, in the media rights marketplace. So there's been a lot of interest, and I think they're really, really excited about the composition of schools that we have. Like, I think they view these 8 universities as programs that are committed to competing at the very highest level of college athletics. We have a number of strong national brands with name recognition and national relevancy, Washington State for sure being one of those. I think the other thing they like about it is we have a clean slate. We have a clean slate. We have this legacy brand that people really care about in the Pac-12. And then we have the opportunity to reimagine and recreate the new Pac-12. And I will say our media rights partners are really excited about that opportunity. I've gone into it with the mindset that we really want a transformational partnership. We don't just want somebody to write us a check and put on a bunch of games on TV. We want somebody that's interested in investing in this league and rebuilding our brand. And the interest has just been tremendous. So we'll get right back at it. I have more meetings going on over the next couple days, and we have to get that deal done. And the media rights partnerships are really important for a couple of reasons. Number one, these student athletes that we serve deserve to have their stories told, right? So we need media rights partners that are willing to tell the great stories of our student athletes. And then, of course, the economics of it are really important too, because in this industry now it costs money to support student athletes, and these TV partnerships are a big part of that. So we'll continue to do that work here in January and February, and hope that we can announce a deal or deals soon. And then that will help lead right into the next membership decision, right? And we've been kind of saying all along that the media rights piece will help inform that for a couple reasons. Number one, we need to kind of know the economics of what our future is going to look like to inform any, member offers that we make. But our media rights partners also have a lot of great feedback for us in terms of who they think is a good fit, what brands are of interest to media rights partners. So the next 6 to 8 weeks are going to be very busy for sure, but really, really important work for the future of this conference.
Teresa Gould, Pac-12 Commissioner, joining us. And hopefully you get to sleep at some point, but we really, really appreciate all the work that you're doing. And so many things about what you just said warm my heart, just knowing how much. This is my 13th year with the Cougs and in the Pac-12 altogether. So just want to let you know how much your hard work is appreciated, and I'm sure everyone in this room would agree. I think looking ahead, the media rights deal, I love that you led with the stories being told, and then it came to the economics, because that's who should be working in college football, is someone like you who cares about the student athlete first. Just had to say that. Looking ahead, 2025, we're kind of sitting in an odd place that the conference hasn't been before, because we already know what's going to happen in 2026, and then we'll move beyond that. So looking ahead to 2025, what does that look like from your perspective?
Well, it's a really important year for us because we do have a rebuild to do, right? So, there's a lot of focus on the media rights and the new members, but we essentially it's like a startup. That's the way that I'm thinking about it, and the way I'm looking at it is this conference that we're rebuilding is a new league with a different brand and a different makeup and a different story to tell. And that's really the fun and exciting part. So my team's going to be spending a lot of time over the next 18 months being prepared to launch on July 1 of 2026. And there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into that happening. But next year is really important because that's where we really want to start to tell the story and rebrand the league. Right, so I think you'll hear a lot in the WSU games next year and the OSU games next year on all of our, media exposure that we have. We'll be talking a lot about July 1 of 2026 and beginning the ramp up to be prepared to kind of unveil the new Pac-12. So it's a really important time, and part of that rebuild is really listening and talking to our student athletes too on all of our campuses to talk about what they want the new Pac-12 to be. And that'll be the fun part, is to really hear from them and to really work on building something that supports the modern day student athlete. And as you all know, the student athletes in 2024 are different than the student athletes even 3 or 5 years ago. So we need to build something that supports them in this new modern industry that we're living in right now.
Going into this season, obviously a lot of focus on WSU and Oregon State, but now following very closely what those new members starting in 2026, what they have done this year, what they'll be doing next year. What's that been like, seeing what they have done?
It's really fun. I mean, I will say I have my bowl schedule printed out, and we talked about this before when I arrived, Chris, and 4 of our 7 football playing institutions are in bowl games. And I will say the 3 that are not, it's an unusual rebuild year, right? Like, I think we all know Oregon State's going to be back next year.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be in a bowl. San Diego State will be back and will be in a bowl. Utah State hired a great, proven head coach. So 4 out of 7 is pretty good. I feel pretty good about where we are in terms of postseason, and it's great to be here with the Cougs. I'll certainly be watching Boise State in the CFP next week, which we're super excited for them, and they're going to be an integral part of what we do moving forward. So I feel we're really, really well positioned from a football perspective moving forward, and I'll be watching the Bulls closely, and it's pretty fun watching hoops right now too. So 6 of our 8 programs of the new league have winning records this year, and we've got some great stories. So it's going to be a league that competes at the highest level, and we're going to be the challenger brand. We're going to be the people that nobody wants to play because we're going to win.
I love to hear that, and I know you have to be neutral, but crimson suits you, just so you know. Looking very forward to seeing you at the game, and thank you so much for everything that you do.
Well, we appreciate that. I love what you said about hoops, just getting to live it with what WSU Hoops is doing so far. How about what David Riley has done? 10-3 on this season, 2 quad 1 wins, and just to see the strong start Oregon State has had, and knowing what the basketball side of the conference will look like moving forward, it's going to be a gauntlet.
Well, we were very intentional with that, and I think we generated a lot of interest and raised a lot of eyebrows when we added Gonzaga, and that was very intentional because we wanted to be really clear that we intended to be a powerhouse basketball conference as well as football and all of our other sports. So it's going to be really fun to watch, and I will say, I watched Oregon State last night over in Hawaii, and they didn't get the win, but they played a Big Ten team right down to the wire. So we've got a lot to be proud of, and I'm really, really excited about what's happening at Washington State, and new coaching staff and a bunch of new guys, and they're playing their hearts out, and there's a lot to be proud of. We're going to be a league to be reckoned with.
Optimism seems to be a big theme of what you're talking about. As we have a great group of Coug fans here, we got a great group of Coug fans tuning in right now. What do you want them to know about what's going through your mind thinking about the future?
Well, I would say first, one thing I want to make sure that everybody that's listening and everybody in this room hears is just how much I appreciate the support that I've gotten from this Washington State community. Had an opportunity to be on campus earlier this year for a thrilling Friday night, late night game, and just to be here. And I've spent time with the regents and other generous supporters of Washington State. And I will tell you, I understand that I work for you, right? I work for you because you care about this program, and it's my job to make sure that I build something that you're really proud of, and we're going to do that. We're going to do that. I know how much you care about Washington State athletics, and I want you to know that that responsibility is important to me. So I want to thank everybody because I always feel that support, and it makes me realize who I'm working for. So I want to thank you all for that. And there is just a tremendous amount of excitement, and it is really exciting to be in this crazy time in college athletics, unprecedented time. I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've never seen anything like this. But we're lucky because we have so much tradition and legacy and all these great programs, but we get to create something new. So what I want people to hear is, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep building, and we just have so much excitement and so much momentum right now, and just know that we're going to build something to make you all proud, and we're going to build something that creates great opportunities for our students.
Commissioner, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it and excited about what is to come for the Pac-12.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Well
all right.
said.
Straight from her
Pac-12
mouth.
Commissioner Teresa Gould joining us here. We are live from San Diego. It is the U.S. Bank Bowl Preview Show. We're coming to you from the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego, talking about the Cougs matchup tomorrow night in the Holiday Bowl against Syracuse. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll have Cougar legend Robbie Tobeck stopping by. That's all after this. You're listening to Cougar Football from Learfield.
Ho ho! Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
You may be eager to break ground on a new outdoor project, but never just start digging. Buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Are you interested in your company reaching Coug fans in and out of game day? As the multimedia rights holder for Washington State Athletics, Washington State Sports Properties helps companies and organizations connect themselves to Cougar athletics in unique and exciting ways. From LED signs to pregame parties to the radio ad you're hearing right now, Washington State Sports Properties is helping companies both large and small get in front of Coug fans on a daily basis. Reach out to Washington State Sports Properties to learn more about what sponsoring the Cougs can look like for you.
This is former Coug Eric Coleman.
Off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a Go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Coug. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
In business, just like sports, it's all about the team you assemble to get the job done. And for over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has put an all-star team together of the best siding, window, and roofing installers in the business. So if you're in the market for an upgrade, remodel, or add on to your home, give the pros at McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows a call today. We'll come out and give you a free estimate. McVeigh Brothers Siding and Windows. We're always working for you.
Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards program. Join the program. Visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. Welcome back to the U.S. Bank Bowl Preview Show. We are live from the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego. Chris King next to Jessamine McIntyre, and we've got a Coug legend joining us, Robbie Tobeck. So great to see you. Thanks for being here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, San Diego, how has it been? It's never a bad time to make a trip to San Diego. How's it treated you so far?
Well, I've got a former teammate from Washington State, Jim Eicher, who lives down here, and every time I come to San Diego, it rains. So I give him a bad time. I'm in San Diego. I'm supposed to be in shorts and flip-flops. I got a jacket on right now, so I don't know. But it's a great atmosphere, great crowd here tonight supporting the Cougs.
You came all the way from Tampa to be here today, and
Yes.
that says a lot for your care in not just the team, but the program and the athletics program as well. I know you've been a huge supporter of Washington State athletics. Can you tell us a little bit about your role in what you're doing for the athletic department and the student athletes?
Well, I'm a Washington State University fan, and I, coaches come and go, players come and go, all that stuff. But, my team is Washington State University. My team are the Cougs, and so anytime I get a chance to support the Cougs, I love to come out and support the Cougs. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I don't care who's calling plays. My team is Washington State Cougars, and I want to support the Cougars. And so, we feel privileged to be here, ready to support the Cougs.
And a great crowd here. That's certainly
feel the same way.
Yep. Yeah. That hits home. We're talking about bowl games. The Copper Bowl. What comes to your mind as you think back to the bowl game that you took part in during your WSU playing career?
Well, there weren't so many bowls back in the day, and we were I think 8-win team going into that bowl game, and we were worried about getting a bowl game going into the Apple Cup, and then of course we beat the Huskies in that Snow Bowl, and everybody remembers that. I always got to mention that, right?
Yes, 100%. Your duty as a Coug.
So, it was a real privilege and a real honor to be able to play in a bowl game. And I remember Coach Price taking us down there, and he really treated it like a reward for us. And we might have went out a little too much that week. We went out to an early 21-0 lead, I believe it was, and then had to kind of battle back. But Drew had a great game that game. It was his last game. I was a senior in my last game at Washington State, and what an honor and a privilege it was to play and represent this team in a bowl game. And we finished out at number 7 in the country that year. I'll never forget it. So it was a great honor to be a part of the turnaround of what Washington State became in the 90s with the Alamo Bowl a couple years later, and then a couple of Rose Bowls to finish out the decade.
Robbie Tobeck joining us, legendary Coug here, but I would say all Cougs are legendary. You just did it on the field, too.
That's right.
Anyway, I just wanted to ask about the bowl because the world has changed. College football has changed. It's not the same when you were playing in your bowl game, one last chance to put yourself out there with your team and feel like it meant something, especially you said ranked 7th in the country that year.
Right.
It's changed. There's a lot of guys that are not going to be with this team who played the entire season, but there's a lot who are. And I just want to know what you took from that final game on the field. You had outgoing seniors at that point. It wasn't transfers. Right. There was no sitting out because you're going to the NFL. So what would you say to those who question the true meaning of that game?
Well, it's still a reward. It's still something you have to earn. You got to go out and win a certain amount of games. And, in this case, you got to win at least 6 games to go to a bowl game. To go to the Holiday Bowl, you have to be number 2 in the Pac-12, right? So we were, how we finished the season. So it's something that you have to earn. And, I think when you earn something, it's just a little more special. If somebody gives you something, I appreciate the gift. It was great. I love it. But when you earn that same thing, you're going to treat it a little better. You're going to take care of it a little more. And I think that's what gets lost a little bit nowadays is people forget, that, what you're here for, to earn this thing. And I just appreciate that. And it's tough. It's tough nowadays. I talked to a coach at another school this week, and he said, well, yeah, we got a lot of guys in the portal, but we're letting them all play. That's the new thing. You got to let them all play so you can play. And, hopefully those guys are treating it like professionals, which these kids are nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They're treating it like pros, and they're playing hard for the guy next to them. And that's the most important thing. I look at Jim Ike over there, who I mentioned earlier. I played with him. This is 30-plus years ago we lined up together. But, we made a bond that's lasted forever. And we still talk, and we still text, we're still friendly, we still hang out together all these years later, and those bonds are special. And I think hopefully in this new era, this new age, that's not getting lost, because your teammates are teammates forever, and they're teammates and they're brothers forever, and that's a special bond, and not everyone gets to experience that. Because not everyone gets to go through what you go through as teammates, as players, those types of things, and it does create something special. So hopefully guys are playing hard for one another. All other things aside, they're laying it on the line for the brother next to them.
Those 17 seniors looking to wrap up their WSU career with a victory tomorrow against Syracuse. So this week we've heard about the team taking a naval ship tour, going to SeaWorld. What was the Copper Bowl like? What were the off-field activities for the Copper Bowl?
I think we went and watched some roping or something like that. We got a cow got roped or something. There was like a steak eating contest, that type of thing. I think a few things like that, but it certainly wasn't getting to go to the Navy base, and it wasn't getting to go to the SeaWorld. But we didn't mind. We were just honored and happy to be there, and I'm sure these guys are as well. And that's the other thing with these bowl games. It's an experience that, when else would you get to go on base and get to see what you got to see? It's a special thing.
Yeah, with your team, especially because the only time you spend together is practice,
yes.
Game, meal, film. Weight room. That's it. Yeah. So, I guess it's nice to think a little bit outside of that. So, this is Robbie Tobeck joining us. We just had Teresa Gould on. I love her vision for the future of the conference. And I think we felt a little bit in no man's land for a little while. And her talking about next year, 2025, that it's an extremely important year because it's launching us into the future, right? But there's technically, we're not really in anything quite yet. Now, she's looking at it from a professional, pragmatic perspective. You call yourself a Cougar fan. How do you look at it right now, and what would you say to those out there that kind of don't know how to feel?
Well, you better figure out how to feel. If you're a Cougar fan, a Cougar alum, the old deal is gone. It's gone forever. It's never coming back. Let's embrace the new thing. Let's embrace it, because what we have ahead of us is an opportunity to compete for Pac-12 championships every single year. If we embrace it, if we invest, and I think that's what's been missing a little bit is the investment that it takes. And if we feel sorry for ourselves, we're going to be also-rans. Let's be honest. But if we embrace this new opportunity and we invest in this new opportunity, we have the opportunity to be Pac-12 champions most years.
Yeah.
Most years, honestly. And if you are that, you're going to be in the playoffs. We have the opportunity to watch our team in the playoffs. And those are things that, honestly, I don't know that we could have said before. Yeah, it was always the thing, and we went to a couple Rose Bowls and this and that, but it wasn't a regular thing. We can make this a regular thing. And, I don't care. I've been saying it since the whole thing fell apart, is I don't care if I'm playing Arizona State or Fresno State. I want my team to win. My team is Washington State, and I want to win. And if I'm winning on Saturday, I'm feeling pretty good. If whether I'm able to travel from Tampa to Pullman to go to a game, a couple games this year, or I'm staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning in Tampa watching the Cougs play the late night game. I'm feeling pretty good when my team wins, and I don't care who we're playing. And so I think we need to embrace that, what can become a great winning tradition here at Washington State University. And if we do that, this will all be forgotten, the tough times we've been through, and it'll be sweeter. Because when you go through tough times, like I remember, look, I was fortunate enough I played on 2 Super Bowl teams in the NFL, right? Both of those teams, the year before we went to the Super Bowl, we started at like 1-8, and then finished the season strong. And then the next year we went to Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl wouldn't have been as good if it wouldn't have been for that 1-8. Because we knew what it took to get there. We just didn't arrive there. We had to work there. We had to earn it to get there. And so it means a little bit more. And so that's fine. It's going to mean something, but let's go out and do it. We have great opportunities ahead of us.
One final thought. This is the end of this season, and this season has featured some incredible moments, incredible games. I think back to watching the recap video of the Apple Cup and hearing you talk to the team before the Apple Cup, saying, I've played in Super Bowls. I remember the score to 1 game.
Yes.
And hearing you address the team, and then how that was so beautifully put together after for what was an instant classic Apple Cup win. Yeah. What was that like, getting to address the team at that point?
Well, it's an honor. Anytime that you feel like somebody wants to hear what you got to say, or at least they set up in their seat a little bit, and it's always an honor to be able to address the team and to talk to the team. And I just talked to them about I think my biggest trait when I played was the ability to get back up. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get Mike Homer used to call it, you're going to get punched in the mouth, right? And you do, and that's life. But what are you going to do? You're going to get back up, or are you going to lay there? Are you going to get back up, or are you going to fight? What are you going to do? And so that's kind of really what I talked to those guys about, and and it was quite an honor. And then to see them go out that next day and play the way they played, and to have it come down to that fourth down stop. I mean, what an instant classic, and just love that. I get goosebumps even thinking about it now, and happen, just being at that game, and then to go on and have the season they had, and like I said, that's why we felt the need to be here, because it's a real honor to be able to go out, win 8 games, and play like they played this year. And they deserve to have the support when they run out there for the bowl game.
And the Cougs in action tomorrow against Syracuse in the Holiday Bowl. Let's give it up. Cougar legend Robbie Tobeck, kind enough to join us here on the U.S. Bank Poll Preview Show. thank you so much. We'll take another time out live here from San Diego. More to come. We'll preview the opponent in this one. More on Syracuse after this. You are listening to Cougar Football from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2024 to March 2025. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneAirports.net.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
With the WSU debit card from Gisa, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them grow their money with Smart Plus checking. So, does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Gisa.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Insured by NCUA.
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Hey, Cougar fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Washington State football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Washington State Cougars. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
This is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Back here in San Diego, it is the U.S. Bank Bowl preview show next to Jessamine McIntyre talking about the Holiday Bowl tomorrow. The Cougs taking on Syracuse. Kickoff at 5 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will start at 2. A quick reminder, the Junior Cougs Kids Club is presented by Toyota. It's the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and it is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsucougars.com/JRCougs. Jess, this Syracuse team ranked number 21 in the final CFP poll. And Kyle McCord, you mentioned him before, but that jumps out. This is their quarterback finished 10th in the Heisman voting this year.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the biggest threat on the field because his ability just creates so many more opportunities in their offensive scheme. And our defense does look a little bit different right now. And, all the coaches are, getting together right now. We don't have an official OCDC right now. And I look at the way that they're going to play this defense against a quarterback that, frankly, we just don't see a lot of that style. So that's the biggest threat. I do give us a lot of chances just because there's so much tape that hasn't been seen on some of the guys that we're going to see tomorrow. And I know that more applies to the offense, but the defense is going to have to step up, and it's going to have to do so in a big way.
And Kyle McCord, he has put together really the most productive season ever for a Syracuse quarterback, owns a ton of single-season school records, currently 5th in ACC history for single-season passing yards. So the Cougs will have their hands full, but a great opportunity to end the season against a strong opponent, looking for that win in the Holiday Bowl tomorrow. We'll take another timeout. Still more to come here. We are live at the Andes San Diego, the rooftop right here. We've got a room full of Cougs talking about the Holiday Bowl. More after this. You're tuned in to Cougar Football from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Whether you root for the Zags or the Cougs, now's your chance to play for your favorite team. It's the Winning Colors Challenge at Northern Quest. Simply pick up your special Gonzaga or WSU Camas Rewards card now through November 30th and play as usual. Whichever fan base earns the most Camas points wins $10,000 for their program. Become a card-carrying Zags or Cougs fan during the Winning Colors Challenge only at Northern Quest.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
Get your home turf ready to play with the game-changing performance of Steel. Enjoy big savings this fall on Steel handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Steel is a proud supporter of your Washington State Cougars. Real Steel. Find yours.
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. This is the Cougar Football Hour.
The Cougs get the stop! The Cougs get the stop! Cougs take over!
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. It is the U.S. Bank Bowl preview show. Chris King next to Jessamine McIntyre. We're here at the rooftop at the Andes San Diego, a room full of great Cougs. And Jess, here we go. An opportunity here to see the Cougs in action tomorrow in the bowl game against Syracuse in the Holiday Bowl. And it'll be Pete Caligas who's acting as the head coach for the Cougs in this game. A unique story for Pete Caligas, and I think this will be one it's going to be really easy for Coug fans to get behind, who maybe haven't seen Pete Caligas, is on the forefront as much, working in the trenches with the defensive tackles and being the assistant head coach. But he has just a great history in the game, and he's someone I know everyone in the program has a ton of respect for.
Absolutely, and he's known in the area. What I really like is him being thrust into this role on short notice and embracing it the way that he has. He's all of a sudden the guy in the media, and in his role with the defensive tackles, he wasn't necessarily in that situation, and I think he's done an extremely admirable job in from what, I mean, we'd be naive to think that the players from the outside looking in don't hear the noise, right? And I think that he has quieted that noise from what I have heard from him. And you're preparing for a game, and that's how he's treated it. And I'm really impressed by him. And I will tell you, some of the good friends that I have who are in coaching, both at the college and professional level, all started as defensive line coaches. So I know those trench guys can lead a group of men, and I am really happy with the very limited things that I have seen from him in this role. I'm impressed.
And I would say, you and I have been able to spend a little bit of time around him. For folks who have now been able to hear from him quite a bit during this stretch, you can tell it is genuine, how much he loves the players in this program, and he feels like the true definition of a servant leader. So someone who's coming into what could be a tricky situation to navigate the changes that have happened for the program, in this last recent stretch. But it seems like he's the perfect person to get the team ready and to have this great bowl game coming up tomorrow against Syracuse.
I completely agree, and the genuine part of it is a lot of what I see around Washington State is, especially in those position coaches, you just see how much they care for their players, and I appreciate that. But he also, like I said, they're preparing for a game, and he just took the reins and is going with it. This is a really tough task that he has met with, considering, if we're just talking about the football game, this is tough, and he's mitigating these rough waters with all of everything that is happening around the Pac-12 or around the program, and some departures. It's a brave new world, and he's got that old school coach that, you really like to see, where you're like, yeah, you're old school, except you're approaching it in the way that you have to in the new era.
Well, Pete Caligas, it's great that the team will be in action. So everyone will be able to strap on the pads and take on a good Syracuse team. It's the Holiday Bowl tomorrow, kickoff at 5 o'clock. We'll take another timeout. More with the U.S. Bank Bowl preview show right after this. You're tuned in to Cougar Football from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast. Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
And now it's a BOGO situation with buy one, get one for $1 on sausage McMuffin, burritos, hash browns, and more. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 60 daily departures to more than 20 nonstop destinations provided by 7 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
The U.S. Bank Bowl preview show rolls on. Here we are at the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego, talking about the Cougs matchup in the Holiday Bowl tomorrow night, a 5 o'clock kickoff against the Orange. And there is some history to this series, though not much. We kind of have to go in the way back machine. Washington State facing Syracuse for the second time in program history, the first time coming all the way back in 1979.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know Syracuse won. 52-25 was their victory, but where they played was pretty interesting. The Carrier Dome was being built, and they played in, let's see, it was Rich Stadium, the home of the Buffalo Bills at the time. So, that's just really interesting, and there's so much history in college football, but we're hoping to win the rubber match and get on the right side of it this time.
Well, here we go. The second matchup, we'll see when the third one rolls around, but the second matchup will be coming up tomorrow between the Cougs and the Orange. Another time out here from San Diego. The U.S. Bank Bowl preview show continues after this as we will wrap things up here from the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego. You're listening to Cougar Football from Lear Field.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, GISA donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at GISA.com. Go Cougs!
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Back after this local timeout on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Back at the rooftop at the Andaz San Diego, it's the U.S. Bank Bowl preview show. The Cougs take it on Syracuse tomorrow in the Holiday Bowl, and we are kind of wrapping up the show here. Jess, any final thoughts as you and myself and Alex Brink will be there at Snapdragon Stadium tomorrow to bring all the action?
Yeah, well, I'm excited for the game. I'm glad that we're facing a formidable opponent. Sometimes, you never know how the matchup is going to end up. Syracuse is a very good team, and I am excited to watch the Cougs go take the field because those who are playing in it have the heart to go out and just really play Cougar football. So I'm excited, even though it's going to be a tough matchup. I just think they're going to put everything out there. They're going to leave it all on the field. And then when it comes to this, we're so lucky to be here at another bowl game, and I'm excited. This is my third Holiday Bowl, my 7th bowl overall since my time with this program. How blessed am I? I am so excited for tomorrow.
A great opportunity for every Coug, and excited for kickoff tomorrow. It is 5 o'clock. We will sign off here from San Diego. For Jessamine McIntyre, I am Chris King. A big thank you to Jerry Kylo on the audio side, Jared Pringruber on the video side. For Stephen Hartzell back in the U.S. Bank Network studios. Kickoff tomorrow night. It's the Holiday Bowl. 3 o'clock our coverage will begin. The Cougs versus Syracuse. Can't wait to talk to you from Snapdragon Stadium starting tomorrow night. Again, coverage beginning at 3. Appreciate you joining us. You've been tuned in to the U.S. Bank Bowl Preview Show. This has been Cougar Football from Learfield.